My name is Linda Grace. I would like to take a quick minute to tell you about the pharmaceuticals that I have used. I was diagnosed in '95, and the first pharmaceutical that I took was the megadose of Solu-Medrol in order to whip my symptoms into shape. The neurologist at that time told me that there's new drugs that will slow the progression of the disease, but I would have none of it. It took 5 years until I was ready to admit my symptoms were undeniable. And so I went back to the neurologist and I said, okay, tell me about those pharmaceuticals. I chose Avonex because it was a shot only 1 day a week. So I used it. I knew that there were flu-like symptoms as a side effect, but this put me out. I couldn't get out of bed for a week, and every time I stood up, I'd pass out. So then after 2 weeks, I went back to the neurologist and said, this isn't working for me. Let me try something else. So he put me on Copaxone. I was having exacerbations every month, and I would do the megadoses of steroids, and it took a year before the Copaxone could whip it into shape enough that pretty soon it was exacerbations every other month, then quarterly, then every 6 months. And about that time, in '02, there was a chemo, Novantrone, that could be taken 4 times quarterly, 1 time in your life. And so I did the Novantrone. And in '07, when they came out with Tysabri, I was really excited about that. It sounded so positive. But then when people died, they took it back off the market, and so I couldn't try it. About that time, my doctor suggested I try Betaseron. So I did Betaseron for a few months. And then they put Tysabri back on the market, and so I got on it. And 2 months, the first month I took it, it was so helpful and so wonderful. And then the second month it wasn't, and I guess my body had built up a resistance to Tysabri, and so I had to get off of it. And that was the last of the pharmaceuticals that they had to offer at the time. And so I was looking at in-home healthcare. I was not doing well at all. And my mom found online a test study that they were doing at Johns Hopkins, and so I got in right away. The doctor at it was Cytoxan was the drug, and it was a chemo. The neurologist told me that I needed to get back on Copaxone to retrain my immune system to stop attacking my myelin, but I only needed to stay on it for a year. So I took it for the year, and I went a few more months. It was actually a year and a half, and then I was ready to get off of it. And so my neurologist discouraged me from doing that, but I really felt like if I give my body what it needs, it'll stay healthy. And so I went off of it again, and 6 months later, my MS was active again. And so I started back on the Copaxone, and I was so relieved when my neurologist told me that there's a new drug that can be taken in pill form. And so I am now on Gilenya. I really hope that you'll visit me at multiplesclerosis-relief.com and leave comments. Share with me what you're experiencing. I'll see you real soon. Bye.